We're back live from Remington Park with training races. And the one horse in here, Moon Cartel V. Trained by J.J. Gonzalez III. Lance Powers owns the one. The two horse, Louisiana Down Perry. Emmanuel, She's the Prize. Trained by Rhonda Valdivia, Raymond, and Bobby Merrill, the owners. Dolly Dulce is the four horse, owned by Silver Wings Ranch LLC. Dirk Perry, the Vihel, the owner. Raul Rodriguez Jr. is the trainer. The six is Crazy Candy, owned by Ranch Garayambio. Garland Shelton owns the 7. Trey Wood, the trainer. The same owner-trainer team for the 8. IB Relentless. And the group of participants for this training race are in this one. Jim, tell us more.
All right, thanks a lot, Keith. Especially the one, Moon Cartel V, a gelding by Favorite Cartel. It's always worth noting when you see a Favorite Cartel in these parts of the country. And Moon Cartel V is from the mare First to the Moon. Now, First to the Moon was unremarkable on the racetrack, but to Moon and the Eagle. And Moonist, who unfortunately passed too soon, we say immortal, but only in the racing sense, and Moon and the Eagle were both fantastic Southern California-based horses. Their dam and the dam of this number one horse's mother. So the good pedigree is just oozing out of Moon Cartel V, the number one in here from James J. Gonzalez III's barn. So we will watch that Favorite Cartel gelding on the inside. There's a prize, Remington Park Futurity eligible. That race also brings out an eligible in the 6, Crazy Candy, one of a couple of Dulce Cintachas in here. And that AQHA champion, third here, as they were taking a while to load. Okay, number 4, Dolly Dulce. The rider does not want to go, so they will be taking that filly back to the paddock enclosure for a new rider. So that is the equine version of a rain delay. So what do we want to do, boss? Do we go ahead and talk about some of these others? I can say that our races, our training race streams, brought to you by Ants.
We'll bring it in here.
All righty. And also by West Wind Farms in Purcell, Oklahoma, home of the Thoroughbred Code West. Great paint stallion lineup that includes Smithworks, the vaunted Painted Turnpike as well, including, as we mentioned, Code West, Tank Commander, Popularity, and Pass the Buck. That's West Wind Farms. You can visit them at westwindfarms.com, and there's a look at their 2025 paint stallions. And as we mentioned earlier, Code West, the outstanding thoroughbred and sire of Miss Code West, is open for quarter horse mares.
Opening weekend at Remington Park has a couple of nice Grade 2 races. Fillies and mares 3 and up will go 350 yards in the $50,000 guaranteed Decada Stakes on the first Saturday. Excuse me, that's the second weekend, I believe, yes.
Yeah, and also the East Tex, that second weekend you mentioned on March 15th. Both the Decada and the East Tex, always interesting events here, open Grade 2s.
On opening weekend, It's Mighty Deck 3 Stakes, a restricted grade 2 as it's for Oklahoma bred horses, 3 and up. $75,000 guaranteed purse. They're going 250 yards. And of course, these 2-year-olds that we see in the training races, there's definitely some of those that are going to be looking at the Oklahoma Futurity, the trials for which will be on the first opening days of the meet. The final is on Saturday, March 22nd, $500,000 estimated purse. The freshman will go 300 yards in this one. And that's also accompanied, of course, by the Oklahoma Derby, as well as a few other stakes races on the 22nd of March.
Well, once again, we are in a delay here as the 4 Dolly Dulce was sent back to the paddock for a new rider. Hence the delay here as the jockey's equipment is determined by who's riding them, or the saddle and the tack, etc. So when a rider comes off, they have to unsaddle a horse, get the replacement rider's equipment out there, resaddle the runner, and then take them back out onto the racetrack. So even in a situation like this, where they're relatively close to the paddock, it can take a little bit of time. So once again, the gelding we're looking at here in this race, once they get back out there, will be Moon Cartel V. His dam is a half-sister to Moon and the Eagle, a full sister to Moonist. And Moon Cartel V is also the only runner in here that has a published work, February 9th at Remington, 2:20 out of the gate. It was one of the slower works that day at 13 points.
The first stake of last year's spring meeting, the Mighty Deck 3 Stakes.
Post position 9, Christian, and they're off. And losing the rider at the start was JT I'm That Boy. From the inside, LS Jack's back is firing hard. A political payoff in the mix. Here's Deutsch on the outside. LS Jack's back. A half-length winner of the Deutsch. Post position 9, Christian Escada.
Of course, in addition to the Oklahoma Futurity, a couple of other major races for purse money. Of course, along with that, the Remington Park Oklahoma Bred Derby and Oaks of the meet. The Heritage Place Futurity, Grade 1 event. Won last year by trained by Gonzalez, the trainer of the one horse in this delayed race.
We'll come up with it here in just a moment. Sorry, we're blank.
Kempton, winner of the Oklahoma Heritage Place Futurity last year. Grade 1, $1 million plus purse. Of course, that closing day of that meet is chock full. We'll give it back to Jim Byers here.
Thanks a lot, Keith. Yeah, we watched that race. I refreshed myself on that Mighty Deck 3. LS Jack's back, one of my favorite veteran handicap horses. So here we go. Thanks for staying with us during this delay. The one Moon Cartel V is the one that kind of jumps out at you here. Oklahoma Futurity eligible. His mother was either a half or a full, depending on who's a little at the start. Does the 1, the 3, she's the prize, gets out very well. Up on the outside, IB Relentless in the pink. Right down inside, Moon Cartel V dropped straight out of it. So as the 3, she's the prize. $68,000 Ruidoso Select yearling purchase. It's a couple of taps left hand. You see the racing room got short for the number 1, and he just dropped straight out of it. But it comes in here. It's really nice runners here. A little at the start, does the 1. The 3, she's the prize. Gets out very relentless
well.
He's
Up
relentless
on the outside.
filly.
IB relentless.
She's the prize.
In
the
3
pink,
is also
right down inside
by
Moon
that
Cartel
fine
V
stallion
and
dropped
straight
IB
out.
relentless.
Who you
An
look
Oklahoma
at, to
futurity
Moon and the Eagle
nominee.
and Moonist. He's the
Really
only
strong
runner in
finish
here
there with Dolly
with
Duels, Texas
side
bred and
IB
owned by
relentless
Garland Shelton.
in the pink, right down inside.
Good
Moon
performance by
Cartel
those top
V,
2. A little disappointing there. Moon
straight up,
Cartel V
depending on who
losing
you look at,
racing
to
room
Moon
and
the
getting
Eagle
close
and
to the rail and
Moonist.
dropping out of it. But
He's the only runner in here with
where I
a
sit,
published work.
8.34.
Gets brushed a little at the
Pretty good
start.
effort
Does
there,
the
Juan.
Moon Cartel
And thanks
V.
for hanging with us there
Dropped
as we had a
straight
bit
up,
of a
depending on who you look at, to
delay.
Moon and the Eagle
We'll be
and
back
Moonist.
with the 10th training race of
the
the
only
day.
runner in here
in just a
with
few minutes.
a published work. Gets brushed a little at the start. Does the Moon Cartel V.